Former President Trump and his allies are giving evolving and sometimes conflicting defenses about the FBI search of Mar-A-Lago. So what's the truth? Here now, CNN fact checker Daniel Dale. Daniel, great to have you here. Let's just start with one of the things that Trump himself said. He said, essentially, Barack Obama did the same thing. He said, quote, President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents. How much of them classified? How many of them pertain to nuclear? Word is lots. What's the truth here, Daniel?
There's no truth to that. And John, you don't have to take my word for it because the National Archives and Records Administration issued a statement totally debunking this. They said that the National Archives and Records Administration, maintain exclusive legal and physical custody of the Obama-era documents. They said they were the ones who took about 30 million documents to the Chicago area, to their own facility, not like Obama's house. And they made clear that the classified documents were sent to another facility. So basically nothing Trump said in that Truth Social post was actually accurate.
And Trump is also saying, Daniel, they could have had these documents. All they had to do was ask. Did they ask?
Not only did the Department of Justice ask, Brianna, but the National Archives and Records Administration had been asking for months before that. It's not like the DOJ, FBI just showed up with a search warrant. This issue dates back to 2021. It's been an ongoing saga with a lot of communication back and forth. And the DOJ also showed up with a grand jury subpoena in June, after which Trump lawyers signed a document claiming that there were no more classified documents at Mar-A-Lago. And according to DOJ and the FBI, that was not true.
There are some within Trump world trying to shift blame here to the GSA, the General Services Administration. What about that, Daniel?
So it's hard to know what happened behind the scenes. The claim is that the GSA put some wrong stuff in boxes by mistake. It's their fault. Well, I don't know who put what in boxes, but I do know the GSA issued a statement saying, look, we contract to wrap up the things that the president says are necessary to wind down his office, but it is the sole responsibility of the president and his staff as to deciding what actually goes in those boxes. It's not us that makes the decision about what to pack up and what not to.
And lastly, what about this claim by Donald Trump that all the White House documents he brought with him to Mar-a-Lago had been declassified?
So you've been talking about this earlier on the show. I'd say a few things. Number one, Trump and his team have presented no evidence there was actually some sort of declassification order. And I can tell you multiple former administration officials, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton, said they'd never heard anything like that. Number two, as a previous guest discussed, it's very much unclear as to whether such a broad order, like everything I take home would be declassified, would be considered legitimate by the courts, other government authorities. And I think there's also another important point, and that's the three statutes, the three laws that were mentioned in that search warrant do not hinge on whether the documents someone possesses, allegedly improperly, were actually classified. So this issue of classification is important for various reasons, but it may not be the deciding factor in terms of whether, say, former President Trump gets charged with something.